Apple doesn't sell this product, yet it takes 30% of every sale. This invisible tax helped build a $3 trillion empire. Every time you purchase a game item or subscribe to a service on your iPhone, Apple silently takes 30%. They do not produce the content you consume, nor do they operate the servers, yet they always claim their cut. This is the infamous Apple tax, a hidden fee that has transformed this tech giant into the ultimate financial gatekeeper. This revenue stream is not from selling phones, but from simply controlling the toll booth that everyone must pass through. Why are giants like Epic Games, Spotify, and even the European Union declaring war on this specific business model today? To understand this war, we must first look at the structure that makes leaving Apple almost impossible for any user. Apple does not just sell hardware. They sell an entire ecosystem designed to be a paradise you never want to leave. Once you enter this walled garden, leaving becomes an incredibly painful process, creating what we call the golden cage effect. Features like iMessage and iCloud create a seamless experience that locks you in, making Android look like a foreign land. This perfect synchronization creates a strong psychological barrier, ensuring that switching costs are too high for the average consumer to bear. Apple controls every single corner of the App Store, forcing every digital transaction to go through their own payment system. This control allows them to dictate terms to every developer, from small indie creators to massive multi-billion-dollar corporations. But why is the number exactly 30%? This figure has become the center of the most heated tech controversy. Apple claims this fee is necessary to maintain the security, privacy, and trust that their users have come to expect. They argue that without this strict control and fee, the ecosystem would be vulnerable to malware and bad actors everywhere. However, competitors see this differently. They call it a monopoly that stifles innovation and unfairly crushes fair market competition. Imagine if you opened a physical store and your landlord demanded 30% of your total revenue forever and ever. If you resist this demand, you are wiped off the map, just like Fortnite vanished from the App Store overnight. This power to delete a business instantly is what makes the Apple tax more than just a fee. It is control. The legal battle with Epic Games exposed the inner workings of this system to the world for the very first time. Documents revealed that Apple executives knowingly used the App Store policies to lock users in and keep competitors out. Although Apple won most counts, the court ruled they could no longer stop developers from linking to other payment options. But the real threat to the Apple tax comes from the European Union, which has passed strict new digital market laws. The EU has already forced Apple to adopt USB-C, proving that the tech giant is not above the law anymore. Now, they are forcing Apple to allow third-party app stores, striking at the very heart of the walled garden strategy. Apple now faces a critical choice: open the fortress to integrate, or tighten the grip to protect their profit margins. Time is running out as regulators around the world watch closely, ready to implement their own versions of these laws. For developers, these changes could mean survival, allowing them to keep more of their hard-earned money for future innovation. The balance of power is shifting, and the era of absolute control over the digital economy is coming to an end. Consumers may soon see lower prices and more choices, but they might also face new security risks without Apple's protection. The dismantling of these digital toll booths marks a significant turning point in the history of the modern internet economy. Here at the lab, we conclude that the Apple tax proves platform control is far more lucrative than product innovation. When you own the road that leads to the customer, you are the one who gets to write the rules. But history teaches us a valuable lesson. When the taxes become too high, the serfs will eventually start to revolt. This rebellion is not just about money. It is about freedom, choice, and the future of how we use technology. Other tech giants are watching closely, knowing that if Apple falls, their own walled gardens might be the next target. We might be heading towards a more open digital world, where the walls come down and innovation can truly flourish. The golden cage is unlocking, But it remains to be seen if users will actually choose to fly away. Convenience is a powerful drug, and many may prefer the safety of the cage over the chaos of freedom. Perhaps Apple will adapt, finding new ways to monetize that do not rely so heavily on restrictive gatekeeping tactics. A more open market could lead to a renaissance of app development, bringing us tools we cannot even imagine yet. The redistribution of this wealth could empower a new generation of digital entrepreneurs to challenge the old status quo. As the sun rises on this new era, the hidden Apple tax may soon become a relic of the past. The company that once challenged the system has become the system, and now it must face its own disruption. Strategic failures often happen when companies stop serving the customer and start serving only their own quarterly financial reports. The tension between innovation and control is the defining struggle of the 21st century tech industry landscape today. We hope this deep dive has helped you understand the true cost hidden behind every tap on your screen. From a simple store to a global economy, the journey of the App Store is a lesson in scaling. Next time you accept terms and conditions, remember that you are entering a contract designed to maximize their profit. The 30% tax may seem small on a single purchase, but collectively it builds empires and destroys competitors. Trust is the currency of the future, and Apple must work hard to rebuild the trust they have eroded. Clear skies may be ahead for the digital economy if regulations succeed in leveling the playing field for everyone. The future belongs to the creators, and breaking the golden cage is the first step towards their true liberation. Imagine a world where your support goes directly to the creators you love, without a middleman taking a cut. Fairness in the digital market is not just a dream, it is a necessity for a healthy global economy. As the sun sets on the old ways of doing business, we must prepare for the challenges of tomorrow. Barriers can be transformed into bridges if companies are willing to adapt and listen to the needs of users. Ultimately, technology should serve the user, bringing joy and utility without hidden costs or restrictive, controlling corporate shackles. Is this the end of the Apple tax, or just the beginning of a new, more complex method of extraction? We will continue to monitor this situation closely and bring you the latest updates from the front lines. Thank you for watching Business Failure Lab. Remember, when taxes become too high, the rebellion begins. See you next time.